Today on Lubed, I'm going to give you the Edmonton Oilers half-season report card. Plus, I'm going to break down the preview of the Edmonton Oilers Los Angeles King matchup tomorrow night in Los Angeles as the Oilers start a 4-game road swing. All that and more coming up on Lubed. Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Gene Edwards. You are watching Lubed for January the 8th, 2023. This is my preview and report card episode of the Edmonton Oilers and what they've done thus far through the halfway point, as Game 41 was last night against Colorado. And unfortunately, again, they lost a tough one. I thought they should have had that one, but definitely, like I said yesterday's episode, the hockey gods were definitely not on side with them. Okay, so we're going to start off with the report card first, and then I'll get into the preview shortly after that. Just so you know, this report card that I've come up with is actually mathematically based. It's not just me saying letters or whatever. This is kind of where they rank in the categories throughout the National Hockey League. And then I've designated the letter system going all the way down from 1 to 32. So I hope you enjoy what I've done here. Like I say, haters, please understand this is based off of mathematics. It's not me just drawing them up out of my head. So we're going to start off. I'm going to go from what their worst thing is all the way up to their best thing. And luckily enough, nothing is a failure for the Edmonton Oilers so far this season. However, shots against is a D-. They've already allowed 1,332 shots this season. If you want to compare it to the other teams, by the way, I used hockeyreference.com to compile these stats. So if you want to look up who's actually the best in every category or whatever you want to do and compare it, you can use hockeyreference.com. That's where I compiled these stats. So again, yeah, they get a D- when it comes to shots against. They are allowing a lot of shots, and unfortunately, it's affecting the goaltenders, and our goaltenders have been getting the brunt of the blame. When it comes to 5-on-5 shooting percentage, they get a D+ on this one, as they are averaging 7.5% on the 5-on-5 shooting percentage, which could use a little bit of work, but I mean, you can nitpick on everything that they do, unless you're just an absolute amazing team like what the Oilers had in the 80s, best team in the history of the game. So yeah, you're going to have a few areas where you need to improve, and this is one of them. They also get a D+ on the penalty kill, as they are only averaging 74.15% on the penalty kill. This, it ranks them, by the way, 23rd overall in the league, and that's why they get the D+. When it comes to goals against per game, they get a C, as they are averaging 3.32 goals against. Now this is, once again, this is defending and this is goaltending. Our goaltenders have had struggles this year so far. We all know about that. But we also know our defense is really hurting as well. And we're all shouting out Holland to do something now. I know we're all in panic mode. But at the same time, I don't want Holland to be totally fleeced in a deal and we give up the future, like so much future. I get that we're in the now window with McDavid and Draisaitl. I get that. But at the same time, a lot of these teams, like we saw over the summer, how they fleeced us for Cassian. Basically, we gave up. I thought we gave up way too much to get rid of that cap space, but that is what it is. When it comes to save percentage overall, so this one would be basically your goaltenders. And this is your goaltenders to blame on this because it is save percentage. So every shot and goals. This is 100% on the goaltenders, and that's a C. And this is combined. Okay, so this is going to be soup and stew. This is the combined effort, as the overall average is an 8.98 save percentage overall, which definitely needs some improvement. And I think we are on that trend up, as Campbell actually had a pretty decent game the last time he played, and Stu was stunning last game. So there's things that Campbell, I think, needs to pick up, but I think other than that, yeah. When it comes to 5 versus 5 save percentage, so now this is 5-on-5 save percentage, they actually get a D plus on this one, as it is a 922 save percentage, which isn't too bad when it comes to a 5-on-5 situation. Short-handed goals, the Edmonton Oilers are a B minus, as they've actually got 3 goals, ranking them 13th overall in the league, which isn't too bad considering. Okay, so when it comes to shooting percentage, now I want to be very, very clear. I did 5-on-5 shooting percentage just a little while ago. This is shooting percentage as a whole, and there's a significant difference. 5-on-5 shooting percentage needed a lot of improvement. I gave them a D plus on this one. When it comes to as a whole, and it's because of their power play, they're a much better team, as they are at 10.9, which would give them an A minus. So when it comes to power play, yeah, they're really good. Goals for per game, they get an A on this one, as they are 3.51 goals for per game, which ranks them, 4th overall in the league. So they're not bad for goals for. We know this team has offense. We got McDavid, we got Draisaitl, we got Hyman, and we're doing this without Kane. That's another threat that's going to be soon in our lineup. Shorthanded goals, we have 5 shorthanded goals, which is another A. We rank up there with all the top teams. I think the highest is, I think it was Boston. I'm not sure, but yeah, 5 overall isn't a bad number. That's an A. And last but not least, the power play. We know where this one ranks. This is an A plus, no brainer, as the Edmonton Oilers have the best power play in the league at 32.21%, and they're doing just really super amazing. All right, guys. So what that means is my overall, when I base all these stats together and combine them all together, the overall grade is a B minus. And that's basically taking the average of where they ranked on these particular stats. And that is the outcome of this first grade that I've given the Edmonton Oilers at the halfway point of this season. Okay, so let's get into the Los Angeles King matchup, as the Edmonton Oilers will take on the Kings tomorrow night at Staples Center. Or no, it's not the Staples Center anymore. It's the Crypto.com arena. Yeah. And in the last 10 meetings, Edmonton has defeated the LA Kings 6 times. They also won the Pacific Division Final last year in Game 7. It was a matchup between McClellan and Woody, the apprentice and the master, and it was quite the series. But there was also a lot of stuff that came out of that series and continued this year with some of the dirty play. And that one slew foot that they did on Draisaitl in the playoffs last year, and then this year, the knee-on-knee with McDavid. 2 things that I highly, highly am upset about, and it worries me that we could see a significant injury to one of our major, major pieces tomorrow. I really get nervous when the Oilers play this team. Okay, so let's dive into the trends for tomorrow. as the Edmonton Oilers are 6-1 in their last 7 after scoring 2 goals or less in their previous game. As far as LA goes, LA's got a few hot streaks going right now as they are 4-0 in their last 4 Western Conference games. They are 5-0 in their last 5 versus the Pacific. Kings are 5-1 in their last 6 after allowing 2 goals or less in their previous game. And the Kings are 5-1 in their last 6 versus a team with a winning record. One of their cold trends, however, is they are 0-4 in their last 4 when their opponent scores 2 goals or less in the previous game. Now it's time for the money puck. And they've dropped down quite a bit since the last time we did it. The Edmonton Oilers' playoff chances now have gone down to 54.4%, according to Money Puck. Should they win that game in regulation, it will jump up to 59.9. If they win it in overtime, 59.92. If they lose this game, they will actually dip down under the 50% mark at 48.89. So, and then if they lose the next game in overtime, it'll be 53.55. So basically what it's saying is like we are walking a very thin line, essentially. The Edmonton Oilers are walking a very thin line. Not much room for error anymore. They didn't give themselves a huge amount of runway like they did last season, starting off the way they did, and then allowed that dip to happen in December like they did, and then come out of the rise from the ashes when Woodcroft took over. This is a team it really doesn't have much runway to work with, and they got to be very careful. And this week is going to be a huge one because it's all against Pacific rival teams. So we will see what happens, guys. Anyway, guys, that is all I have for you tonight. Let's hope that the Oilers can turn this around in the second half of the season and really make a go for it. If not, it's going to kind of suck watching all the other teams play in the playoffs and not the Oilers again. But I'm still faithful. I am still very faithful. Huge week coming up here. 4 Pacific Division rivals. Like it's do or die now, essentially. I mean, they don't got much runway, like I said. If you are new to this channel, guys, and happen to be watching this for the very first time, feel free to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. For the rest of you out there, as always, stay healthy, stay happy, stay hydrated. I will see you tomorrow night after the LA King game. Hopefully on good news. We'll talk soon.
My tongue keeps bleeding from the words I spit. So sharp, so freezing, so cold. Behold, frostbite, they feeling. I could tear you apart.